Hello everyone and welcome back to Proxy. In this video I'm going to be giving you a brand new overview for Zonoslabs. I have made this video before, but it is for their CLI version and now I'm making it for their GUI version. They've got ahead and released it and this is what it's going to look like when you actually boot up Zonoslabs. Quickly before we go ahead and begin today's video, I highly recommend you check out a written overview on our website. If you're watching the video on the written overview on our website right now, hit the YouTube icon and come over to our YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications to know when the next time we upload. But when you go ahead and boot up Zonoslabs here from the file they provide, you have two options. You can either use CLI or GUI. I'm going to be using GUI in this video. You use the arrow keys to navigate over to which one you want to use, hit enter, and it will go ahead and boot up that version. So I've hit GUI and this is what the GUI looks like, but we're going to go ahead and begin on the settings page. So I'm going to go ahead and put this into full screen for this video. One tab that I did not click onto because I want to begin at the first proper page is the announcements. This button will bring up any other announcements that are pushed to the bottom. There's no announcement at the moment, that's why it's empty. So on the settings page, this is where you can go ahead and configure these settings for Zonoslabs. At the top it shows your key type. You can copy it and you can also blur it. My key is already being blurred throughout this video anyway, but that button will go ahead and blur your key, so you'll go ahead and hide it. Then you can go ahead and enter your AutoSolve access token, your AutoSolve API key, your 2Capture API key, your Cap Monster API key, and then you hit this button to go ahead and select the capture method, whether that's through a harvester, AutoSolve, 2Cap, or Cap Monster. Then for bug report, this is essentially when you go and explain an issue regarding the bot, you go ahead and select a site where the bug is related to. So for example, if I was having an issue with snipes, I'd go ahead and put the URL in and send it in. You can also type in here and talk about the issue as well. Obviously, the more details you provide, the better they are going to be able to go ahead and investigate this bug and hopefully fix it for everyone. It's also worth mentioning that on the right side, you can see your Discord API. If you go ahead and hover over it, it's going to show what type of key you have. I have an FNF key, that's why it says that, and then it will show your Discord name including the hashtag value, which is hashtag 6003, and below that you can see the changelog per each update they push. But let's move over to the profile section. This is where you can go ahead and add account lists into the bot, but also create profiles as well. So you have the header profiles. You can select the profiles from a drop down once you actually create them. You can hit this button to create a profile. You can save the profile once you are done. You can delete it by selecting the profile in this drop down and hitting the delete button. You can also save accounts as well, but let's go ahead and actually create a profile here. So we're going to hit this and it's going to go ahead and reset everything. Let's go ahead and break down what we can see here. You have the profile information, very basic stuff, the shipping information and the payment information. It's also worth mentioning that you can assign a Discord webhook to the profile, but I'm going to go ahead and fill out all these details with some text information and show you guys when I go ahead and save the profile. Also, if you're wondering what these blank boxes are about, this is for the expiry of your payment information and this is for the country. So I'm just going to type in United Kingdom and then you can go ahead and put in your country code if it applies. I'm just going to hit something random. But then for the payment information, obviously these two boxes are for your expiry month and year. So I've gone ahead and configured my profile accordingly for this video. I'm going to hit the save button and that will go ahead and save my profile. So I'm going to come over to the list here. As you guys can see, video test is there and I can go ahead and select onto it and we'll go ahead and fill out the details that's connected to that profile. Now on the right side, this is where you can go ahead and configure your account list. So at the moment, at the time of recording this video, this may change in the future. There's currently two account lists that I can go ahead and configure, which is Courier and Kicks. So let's hit Kicks for example. I can go ahead and enter Kicks accounts here if I wish. I'm not going to do that, but once you guys are done, make sure to go ahead and hit the save accounts button so it does save. Moving on to the proxies page, this is where you can go ahead and enter proxy into the bot so they can be used with your tasks. They do it a bit differently compared to other bots. Usually you can go ahead and create a proxy group with a unique name or something like that, but what they've actually done here is gone ahead and listed 10 groups. You can go ahead and put the proxies into those groups and then you just need to take a mental note and make sure you know what proxies in what groups. So for example, if I were going to use proxy group 1 for residential proxies, proxy group 2 for data center, and proxy group 3 for ISPs, then obviously I'll have to take a note of that so I don't get confused. But for proxy group 1, I'm going to put some proxies here, hit the save button, and the proxy list has been saved. Now moving on to the task section, this is where you can go ahead and create your tasks within Zonoslabs. So let's go ahead and break down everything we can see here. We have the create section where you actually go ahead and create the task, and then you can actually go ahead and view the tasks that I create over here. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is create a task group. We're going to call this group name video test and hit the save button. Now that we have a group for the tasks, we can actually go ahead and create the tasks to be entered into that group. So let's go ahead and begin. So the task group is selected at the top. Let's go ahead and create a task here. I'm going to go ahead and hit a random site here. I'm going to hit Disney. My profiles, I can use all profiles or select the profile we made in this video. I'm going to hit the video test profile, which is the one we made in this video. And then for proxy group, it shows all of the available groups as well as the option to not use a proxy. I'm going to go with that, but obviously you can't select any of the groups. And then you can go ahead and put in your URL keywords or PID here. For the purpose of this video, I'm just going to put in a random link. I'm not intending on running this task. I'm just showing you how all this works. You can go and enter your size. I'm just going to put something random here. You can go ahead and enter your payment method. So for Disney, the two options is PayPal and card. I'm going to hit PayPal for example. For delay, you can go ahead and set up delay. I'm going to set it to 5. And if for quantity, I'm just going to do 1. And then for the task group name, you go ahead and select the task group, which we created over here, which is video test. And now that will go ahead and allocate this task to that group. So let's hit the create button. And as you guys can see, the task has gone ahead and been created. The site is Disney, the URL is there, the payment method is there, the profile is there, the size is there, and the status is idling because we have yet to do anything with this task. But let's go ahead and break down these individual buttons. This is the start button, this is the stop button. Obviously you can see that the status changes when I do click these buttons. This is a duplicate button. If you wish to duplicate the task, you can also delete it as well, and the task counter is then reflected based on what I do with the tasks, whether I duplicate it or delete it. This is the start all button. So if you want to start all your tasks, for example, if I want to duplicate this a few times, it's start all the tasks. This is the stop all button, so I want to stop all the tasks. This is the delete all button if I wish to delete all my tasks, and this is the show/hide task. Now essentially what this button does is, let's say you're 100% sure on all the tasks that have been created here. You don't want to create anymore, you don't want to change anything. What you guys can do is hit this button and we'll get rid of that box. You can only focus on your tasks here. If you change your mind, you can just hit this button again and it pops up very nicely. Then you have the edit all button, which will go ahead and edit all the tasks. So you can change the URL, and that is actually what I'm going to go ahead and do now. I'm just going to change this to a random URL like so. And then for profiles, I'm going to keep everything the same, but I'm just going to change the URL, and you'll notice the URL changes when I hit the save button, as you guys can see. So that is pretty convenient if you want to go ahead and correct an error you made, or you simply just want to change your tasks to direct at something else, or you want to go ahead and change an attribute about all your tasks. So that is going to go ahead and conclude today's video. If you guys enjoyed, please drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new. I'm going to catch you guys next time. Peace out.